rocking this for a particular reason, and Amanda here is a big fan of these characters, and I hope everyone's a fan of these characters, and this guy in particular. Chris Evans is in talks to return as Captain America in a future MCU film. And also, too, just want to note, this is a rumor because Cap came on his Twitter. Chris Evans said, "Oh, this is news to me." And at this point, it's like, playing coy. It's like him saying that he's news to him is almost saying that he's back in the universe the way social media works. But kicking it off with you, Amanda, my Cap fan, Mr. Chris Evans coming back in the role. Yeah. Would you want to see it? So I'm going to kind of give you three different spins here. Number one, would you want to see him back in the MCU? Number two, some people don't want him is because it affects Endgame. His arc was already kind of ended. Does it take away anything for you for Endgame? And then number three, what movie would you like to see Cap make an appearance in?
Oof. Okay. I want him back. I do. Don't get me wrong. I don't want him back in a huge way. I think a cameo is the best thing that you can do for him. People were like, "Oh, he's coming back to steal the shield." I'm like, why would he? He literally gave it to him at the end of Endgame. Like, what are you talking about? So I think people are over exaggerating of how integrated he's going to be in the MCU. I honestly, if it's any movie, it would be Doctor Strange or even an untitled Avengers film down the line. Yeah. It'd be funny if he was in Spider-Man 3. If they
just go everyone else in the world. Are we? You guys got the text, right? Are you going on set tomorrow? Because you guys are going to be in Spider-Man 3 too, right?
Oh, that's
just making sure. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I would love to, but it is a possibility. I think maybe a flashback in the Falcon and Winter Soldier would work as well. They wanted to, but he is an old man.
He is.
That could also fit in. I don't know. Either way, I love Evans, but it is Anthony Mackie's time to shine. I don't care what anyone says. I need him to officially be Captain America. He's been saying it, and he's been saying, "Oh, we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen." It's like, listen, Mackie, I love you, but you got to stop giving us this runaround. He's definitely going to be Cap. We're really excited for that. So if he's in it more, if Chris Evans comes back and he's in it more than I thought he would be, cool. Could be in Secret Invasion, like we said. So I love him to death, and he's such a little troll. He didn't have to say it the way he did on Twitter. So
yeah.
But I love him. So either way, if he's in it a little bit, in it a lot, he's our Cap too, right? So.
And does it too? And then again, going to the question here, it doesn't take away from Endgame because he didn't die, which is definitely he didn't die. But does it take away from Endgame? And not that he died, that it has to but the story wise, in regards to he lived his life, he got to be with Peggy. Does it take any way of that for you with Endgame and kind of the button on his story?
Not necessarily. I kind of didn't think it would go that way, but I was pleasantly surprised that he did happen to him because he deserved it. Everything was taken away from him so many different ways. So it's just the fact that he was able to live a life was really great. I kind of wanted him to die the way Tony did, one final sacrifice, let it go, kind of do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really take anything away from me at all.
Okay. And it's shooting it to you, Chris. And like I said, I definitely want you guys to definitely give us your input in the chat and just reading some of these comments here. As Leo says, I don't want Cap back. We have Pierce saying Black Widow.
Sure.
That'll be interesting. We know they have a history together. We have here at all Steve finally got when he lived his life and dragging on it. Come on.
Leo.
Yeah. So tossing it to you, James, man, your thoughts on, again, just posing the same question. Do you want to see him back? Does it take away his arc being completed in the Endgame? And then if you were to theorize, what film or potentially show would you like to see Cap make an appearance in?
So I would say, no, I don't want him back. I love Chris Evans. Oh man, I'm Team Cap. I was Team Cap before I even saw a trailer for Civil War. I just, I knew I was Team Cap. The thing is, Endgame gave us the most complete story for not only Robert Downey Jr., but also Chris Evans. They are the definitive characters for the MCU. Casual audiences know them, and they also know that Endgame was legit the endgame for both of these characters, because no one has not seen this movie yet. And if they do bring back Chris Evans, I think it undercuts his amazing storyline. Like Leo said, just leave him be with Peggy. That was his dream. If you bring him back, what it does is not only kind of erase that final thought, that very nice and sweet thought, it allows us to just explore the possibility of keeping him around. And I don't want that. It's like I don't want Iron Man to come back as Robert Downey Jr. I mean, I think that what it does is it just erases the last thing we thought of these characters, and that would disappoint me. And if they're going to bring him back at all, which, guys, capitalism is a heck of a thing, they're probably going to bring him back in some capacity. I think it is going to be in Doctor Strange. I agree with Amanda, because the way Doctor Strange can go from different multiverses, there's going to be a multiverse we see Old Man Rogers, and they're going to have a conversation.
Yeah. And I think someone even brought up too, if we do see him in Doctor Strange 2, have him as the Human Torch.
Yes,
which would be funny. No.
Yes, he's so great, Human Torch.
Right. Or again, I can't remember what the comment was, but someone said like the Hydra, the evil Captain America in another alternate universe, which would be interesting to see. No less, seeing Chris play that villainous side. But shooting the question to you, my man, Chris, your thoughts again on, do you want him back? Does it take away anything from Endgame and his arc? And again, if you were to theorize, what film would you like to see him in if he is indeed coming back?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with James. I don't want him back, but I also didn't want him to go. But it's just like him and Iron Man. Like, I didn't want to see Iron Man go or Captain America go. But like now that they're gone, like they have to be gone. Because it's like then it's like there's no consequences. Like we could just fix anything that ever happened that's like that affected the audience. Like 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 Black Widow, like we saw her die, so everyone's like, what the hell? How's she having a movie? But her movie is an origin story, so it's like that's fine. And that's the only way I want to see Captain America come back is on a flashback, like Amanda said, which obviously that doesn't mess up any of the timeline. It's just a flashback, whatever, something like that. Or it could be like Old Man Cap. Someone said in the chat, Old Man Cap. Then you can get kind of like that Batman Beyond type vibe with Cap, Old Man Cap, and like a Falcon. But yeah, what movie? I think Strange is good. I think Black Widow's already done, or probably done, so won't be on that. So yeah, Spider-Man 3, of course, that'd be weird, but I think, and then the tweet too, like it's like Hollywood, so it's like if you really weren't in it, then you would probably just message Marvel, or like you wouldn't. I don't think you would talk about it. You just let it go. So it's like I don't know. Yeah. So it's like it's very weird. But then if they do bring him back, like hopefully, like maybe it's just like a flashback that doesn't change, like that he did live out his life that way that he wanted to. So but we'll see what happens.
So we got roughly we would say the panel saying no, keep him off the sideline and whatnot. Is that will we agree on that you guys don't want to see him back?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't want him to go. I hopefully we all agree. We didn't want to see them go, but if they have to go,
I totally agree. But I want Cap back in the MCU. I want him back tomorrow. He's not only the best superhero in the MCU to me, he's the Superman of the MCU, if you ask me. Like you, James, before Civil War came out, whatever Cap side on, I'm on his side. There's so many different possibilities. And also, too, being a comic book fan, and again, this comic books versus movies, the different mediums, but we know in the comics, you never die. As we saw in the MCU, Loki's back. He died. We got the 2012 version of Loki. Gamora. We saw Thanos. We saw all these characters. We're getting, Black Widow. All these characters that have died are now making their way back in some capacity. And I think there's so many different storylines we could play with Cap, with him returning again. You guys mentioned it, an alternate version, Hydra, Old Man Cap. Maybe Captain America is going to be the head of whatever new shield they might want to rebuild. I mean, he's going to be running S.H.I.E.L.D. on Earth, and while Nick Fury is on space, we can have Captain America be the actual head of S.H.I.E.L.D. And also, again, just the idea of multiverse. We can pull a younger version of Cap. We can pull the 2014, 15, the 1940s Cap from that particular era and bringing him into the universe. So there's so many different ways you can do with him. And for me personally, it doesn't take away of the storyline that we got with Endgame, because again, if we get an alternate version of Captain America, just like we're getting a different version of Loki, it doesn't take away that moment of seeing Thor, seeing his brothers get his neck snapped, because that was the Loki that we have. But now we're getting a new Loki, and we can explore another territories. He can act the performance different. We're going to see new layers to these characters like we're getting with WandaVision. So I'm all about it. I would love to see him back. I don't think it takes away from his arc in Endgame. And then as far as films go, I would love to see him make an appearance in Fantastic Four. because number one, it pains my heart that we won't see Tony Stark interacting with Reed Richards. I just want to see those two guys in a room having a conversation. I want to see Tony Stark and Cheery having a conversation. We never got that. So I want to see Captain America have those conversations, butting heads with Reed Richards, butting heads with maybe Captain Marvel, Civil War 2. I want to see all those interactions because, like I said, we won't get those interactions, unfortunately, because Tony's dead. You know, we'll see with Ironheart if he makes some type of appearance on a video he made for a future Iron Man. But I want to see Cap back, and there's so many possibilities of where they can go. But as Leo says, nerds, no one ever dies, which is 100% true. But again, it is a different medium. When you read something in the comic and you have another writer and you know, someone drawing off the sketches, it's their turn to tell a story, and it doesn't take away from the previous run. And I think the same could be said about movies. You know, Russo brothers did their story with Cap. Hey, bring someone else in to kind of have their interpretation of Captain America. So we'll see. But again, everyone in the chat, let us know if you want to see him back, and of course, those watching the replay, do you want to see Captain America back, and what film would you like to see him in? So